Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Dan from DHTV and we're continuing the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus series. If you missed any of the videos, the link is in the description. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some awesome tips and tricks you can use with your iPhone 6s and iPhone 6s Plus. Let's get started. To start things off, let's take a look at 3D Touch trackpad text selection. And basically we'll open up a notepad here. And traditionally when we wanted to select text, what we'd have to do is tap and hold with our finger and we would move around like so, and you got that little magnifying glass. Now with the 3D Touch ability, what we can do is use Force Touch or 3D Touch by pressing firmly against the keyboard, and now we can drag across the keyboard like so, and you can select areas and you can do pretty much the same things you could do with the magnifying glass, but it's a little bit easier, and this will work pretty much anywhere a keyboard is available to you. For the next tip, we're going to open up our settings application. We're going to tap on cellular, and in this section we're going to scroll down to where it says Wi-Fi Assist. Now this is a new feature that's basically going to allow you to use some of your data to help strengthen a weak Wi-Fi signal. Now this is a good thing to use if you have an unlimited data plan or a lot of data on your plan, but if you are limited, keeping this off would be a better option for you. Once again, all it's going to do is help a weak Wi-Fi signal work a little bit better. This next tip is for those of you who like to listen to music and listen to it in high quality all the time. So what you want to do here is open up the settings application, navigate to your music section, and from here you want to take note of this playback and download section and turn on use cellular data. When you do that, it opens up a secondary setting that says high quality on cellular. Now traditionally we weren't able to get this high quality music with our cellular networks. We would have to use Wi-Fi connections. Well, now if you toggle this on, you can listen to the high quality music using your cellular network. Now if you do choose to do this, keep in mind you are going to burn through your data a little bit quicker. The next tip here again involves 3D Touch. Various applications, if you press and hold on them, pressing with 3D Touch, it'll bring up some quick access settings. You can also do the same thing at the bottom left here. If you use 3D Touch, you can open up your multitask window without having to press the home button twice. Now I did a full video on 3D Touch. You can check that out in the description as well as on my channel. But those are some of the features. Now the next tip here, if we open up our Photos app, you'll notice we just have a standard photo. If you use 3D Touch on that photo, it'll become a live photo where it takes some video from before the picture and after the picture, and it creates this live photo. Now the tip here is you can actually turn that live photo into your lock screen wallpaper. Now the way you do this, just pretty much take any picture you'd like. It'll already have the live photo built into it. And what you do is you simply tap the share button at the bottom here. And then you want to scroll to the right and it'll bring you to use wallpaper. If we tap on that, you can set that to be still, perspective, and live photo. And we're going to go ahead and set that to live photo. We'll hit set. Now this works on the lock screen, not the home screen, but you can still have the photo on the home screen. So we'll just go ahead and set this to both so I can show you how it will work. So once it's set, we'll just go back to the home screen. Now we'll lock the device here. And anytime you unlock your phone and you're at this screen and you want that live photo to come up, you just have to use the 3D Touch and you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that live photo. So if it's of your child, if it's something cool, you'll be able to do that. Now with that being said, if we go back to our home screen, you can see that is my background here, but you cannot use 3D Touch to make it move in the background. Now for this next tip, we're going to take a look at some of our privacy. Now I'll do a full video on the privacy settings and everything you want to turn on and off in this settings application as well as on your device to protect yourself. That'll be done in a later time, so make sure you're subscribed so you're notified when I post that. For this tip, we're going to open up our settings application. From here, we're going to scroll down to where it says privacy, and then we're going to tap on location services. From here, you'll probably have more than me, but for now, what we'll do is we're going to select system services, and it's at the bottom of all the applications you have set. From here, you can see all the different things that your location is being used with. And if we scroll down, this is the one that worries me, is frequent locations. If you tap on this, it's tracking where you've been at different times. Now, who knows what this is used for, but you can see allow your phone to learn places you frequently visit in order to provide useful locations related information. Now, it's uncertain if this information is being tracked by Apple or anybody else. So just to be safe, I like to turn mine off because honestly, I don't need that to be on in the background. So that's personal choice, but it's a great tip if you're worried about your privacy with your device. The next tip involves the new Siri Spotlight. And you can see right here how this looks. If you swipe from the left to the right, it brings up this new Siri Spotlight. You do still have the traditional spotlight like so by just pulling downwards. But to customize the applications that show up here, it's very simple. What you do is you open up the settings application and we'll scroll down to where it says General. And then we'll go to Spotlight Search, and you can see Siri can suggest apps, people, locations, and more when you go to search before you can even type. Now you can turn Siri suggestions off, so none of that will happen, or you can select which applications you'd like to be involved with that. So if you don't want a certain application to show up there, you can deselect it. So I never want Safari to be there. It's gone as soon as you turn it off. Now if you don't want any of the suggestions, as I said, you turn Siri suggestions off. If we go back to the home screen and we turn to the left, it looks like the basic old Spotlight Search, the same way it would look as follows if you pull down. The next tip involves our Photos application. If we open that up, you'll see all your photos, and this is the ability to select them quickly. So rather than clicking them all individually, you can just drag. So if you hold and then just drag across, you can see it's going to pull all the photos that you dragged across. Again, this is going to help you with speed, especially when you need to delete a lot of photos to free up space. The next tip once again involves 3D Touch, and this time we're going to open up our messaging app. Now from here, if we want to go ahead and take a quick peek at our message, you just use 3D Touch and it'll give you a peek. Now if you want to take a quicker look here or a longer look, you can swipe upwards. It'll bring up a couple of settings at the bottom depending where you're using peek. You can see the message. If you want to reply, you can. If not, just swipe down. It takes it away. Now this exact same feature works in your Mail app the exact same way. The next tip involves our camera app, and in this case we're going to be focusing on the video. We can now customize what format and how our video is actually filmed, whether it's 720p, 1080p. What we need to do here is go into our settings app, photos and camera, and from here we're going to scroll down and you want to go to the section where it says record video, record slow-mo. Now these two sections, if you tap on them, you can select to record at 720p, 1080p or 1080p at 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second. Yes, the iPhone 6 camera can take 4K videos. So keep that in mind if you're wondering how to do that. Also within this application or this section here, if you tap on the record slow-mo, you can select 1080p HD at 120 or 720p HD at 240 frames per second. It's up to you. Take a look at that and choose what you'd like. The next tip involves 3D Touch again and our Photos application. So if you open up Photos and you want to share a photo quickly from this section without opening the photo, all you have to do is use 3D Touch and swipe upwards, and it'll give you these settings here where you can just quickly share the photo. So if you tap share, it'll work exactly the same way as if you tap that share button. For the next tip, we're going to open up our camera app here, and if we just quickly open this up, you'll be able to peek at the previously taken photos at the bottom. Just use 3D Touch here, and then you can scroll across them really quickly like so. For this next tip, we're going to talk about Hey Siri and how we can enable this ability without having to use our charger. So what you do is you open up your settings application, you scroll down to General, then you want to tap Siri, and then you'll have to enable Siri as well as enabling Hey Siri and go through a process. Once you've done that process, all you have to do is say, Hey Siri, and she responds. For the next tip, we're going to focus on the Notes app, and we're actually going to take a look at the coloring feature here, or drawing feature. So when you tap on that, you're brought up with a whole bunch of different pencils, different colors that you can choose from, and what we're going to focus on is the actual thickness and darkness of what we're drawing. So the way it works is, again, with that 3D Touch feature. So if you just draw normally just by dragging, you're going to get one color, and that's a very light red. Now, depending on how hard you press, you'll be able to get a darker stroke across that. So it's actually using the 3D Touch ability to track how hard you're pressing, and the harder you press, the darker it'll go. For the next tip, we're going to open up our settings application here, and what we're going to do is scroll down to where it says battery. So tap on that, and in this section here, you'll notice it says battery percentage. Now the reason why I'm pointing this out is because a lot of people want this, and it was hidden before. It was in the usage tab. Nobody could find it. Now it's here. Should be easy to find, and it gives you that battery percentage at the top. Also in this section, if you are somebody who runs low on battery and you need to get more battery life out of your device, turning this low battery mode on, low power mode, is going to temporarily reduce the power consumption of your device, but you are going to lose some features like Mail Fetch, Hey Siri, background app refresh. It's all written right here, and you'll notice that it turns yellow at the top right when you're using it. So hopefully you enjoyed those tips and tricks and you find them useful. I'll be posting more tips and tricks videos on the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus in the very near future. So make sure you're subscribed so you're notified when I post these videos. Also, if you've missed any of the previous videos, as I said, you can check out the link in the description down below. Hit that like button, Share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.